on, Vikings, let's win this game.
Attention fans, there are moments when it feels like the Vikings are constantly shifting, and this week was exactly that. There's a draft projection completely changing direction, a coaching decision that could redefine the roster's path, a locker room situation starting to heat up, and behind-the-scenes movement that's going to impact a key piece of this team. And it doesn't stop there. And look, what's coming at the end of this sequence involves who's actually making the decisions for the Vikings. That's where things really start to hit. And when that happens, big changes usually follow. So let's get into it. This shift wasn't on almost anyone's radar. With basically 1 day left before the draft, the projection that seemed locked in suddenly changed direction. For weeks, a different name dominated the conversation. Fans were already picturing the fit, the role, everything. And then, out of nowhere, silence on one side and noise on the other. The name now gaining serious traction is Peter Woods, and this isn't just any move. We're talking about a player who was once viewed as a top pick. Back in 2024, he dominated, showed strength, instincts, and presence on the interior line. But in 2025, production dropped. Less impact, fewer numbers, and that made a lot of people pull back on his evaluation. But the key detail changing everything is happening right now. People around the league are talking about him again, and talking loudly. And when that kind of buzz resurfaces this close to the draft, it's not random. That usually means something is moving. Being very direct here, this feels like a bet on raw talent with a very specific fit. And in Brian Flores' system, that matters a lot. It's a defense built on aggression, fast front, players attacking gaps, not waiting for plays to come to them. And there's context pushing this even further. The departures of Jonathan Allen and Javon Hargrave opened a hole inside. Right now, Jalen Redmond needs help. He needs someone who can handle physical play and still generate pressure on the quarterback. And Peter Woods fits that profile perfectly. That's why this suddenly feels very real. But you can't ignore the risk. His last season raises real questions, and the first round is not a comfortable place to miss, especially with a roster that has needs all over. Now here's the strategic angle not enough people are weighing properly. There's a real chance of trading down, moving back, stacking picks, and still landing Peter Woods later. But that depends on the market, and this year the market feels off. League executives have already said this class lacks top-end star power. There are good players, yes, but fewer guys you look at as guaranteed stars. That changes everything. More teams want to move down than move up. So now it becomes a reading game. Do you take the talent that fits right now, or try to maximize value and risk losing the player? That's the kind of choice that can shape the whole weekend. Let me ask you this. Would you be comfortable seeing Peter Woods taken at number 18? Or would you play this draft more aggressively and stay locked in? Because the next part of this is bigger than the field itself. It's about who's controlling all of this behind the scenes. Some things look light on the surface, but when you take a closer look, there's a lot more underneath. Recently, there was a relaxed moment involving the head coach. Something simple, even fun. But the timing of it, right in the middle of major decisions, caught the attention of those following closely. The name at the center of it all is Kevin O'Connell. He was reacting to his own rookie card, joking about it, talking about his kids, laughing, showing that human side fans love to see. And yes, it was light. It felt natural. But it wasn't just that. Because while that video was circulating, the reality inside the building was intense. O'Connell is right in the middle of everything that matters for the Vikings right now. And when I say everything, I mean everything. That's what makes this worth watching. It starts with the quarterback situation. On one side, Kyler Murray arrives with status, talent, and experience. On the other, J.J. McCarthy is trying to prove he's the future. This isn't just competition. This is about defining the identity of the offense. And who's at the center of that decision? Kevin O'Connell. He's the one deciding tempo, style, confidence. He's the one handling locker room pressure, fan expectations, and on-field results. And that carries weight. A lot of weight. And it doesn't stop there. The entire draft runs through his vision. Every offensive addition has to fit his system. Every defensive move reflects how the team wants to play as a whole. It's not just talent, it's fit. Now add another layer. Jonathan Greenard. His situation remains unresolved. Rumors are growing. Speculation is building. And once again, the head coach is there managing the message, holding the environment together, keeping the focus on football. That's where that simple video takes on a different meaning. It's not just fun, it's leadership. It's showing calm while handling multiple pressure points at once. And that matters more than it looks, because when everything runs through one person, any mistake hits harder. So the real question is Kevin O'Connell in full control or carrying too much weight? That answer could shape more than one decision from here. And stay with me, because the next topic moves from pressure management to a situation that could directly impact the roster. Quick ask, subscribe to the channel, and jump into the comments. Your opinion really matters here. Now things really start heating up, because this is no longer just projection or draft talk. This is heavy market speculation, and when this kind of conversation shows up this close to the draft, there's usually something real behind it. The name at the center of this is Jonathan Greenard, and look, this isn't just any player. We're talking about a pass rusher who has produced at a high level, someone who has been a key piece of this defense, but his current situation raises questions the team can't ignore, and those questions are getting louder. First point, the recent drop in production. After a strong 2024 season with 12 sacks, his 2025 performance dipped significantly. Fewer games, less impact, less consistent presence. That doesn't erase what he's done, but it changes how he's valued. And then there's the second factor, contract. Greenard is at that stage of his career where he's looking for another major payday, and the franchise has to decide if that investment makes sense or if it's time to move on. That's where this gets tricky fast. Now here's where it gets interesting. A trade idea involving the Philadelphia Eagles has surfaced, a scenario where the Vikings would send Jonathan Greenard and receive a second-round pick. It's not confirmed, but these types of proposals don't appear out of nowhere, and it makes sense for both sides. The Eagles need proven pass rush help. The Vikings could use that pick to strengthen other areas. It's the classic present versus future balance. But hold on, there's an important detail here. Internally, the message is not about moving on. Rob Brzazinski has made it clear he expects Greenard to be part of the team. He called him a leader and emphasized his importance. So there's a gap between outside noise and internal stance, and that creates debate. A lot of it. Some fans think, move him now and get value before it drops further. Others say, keep him. Talent like that isn't easy to replace. And both sides have a point, which is why this feels so live right now. And I'll tell you, this decision is not simple. It involves money, production, and locker room leadership. So let me ask you, would you keep Jonathan Greenard or turn him into draft capital right now and stay locked in? Because the next story goes straight to the heart of the offense and could change who leads this team on the field. The tone on offense is shifting, and it didn't happen by accident. When a leader speaks, the locker room listens. And this time, the message came from someone who has carried the offense for years. The name adding fuel to this fire is Justin Jefferson. He didn't avoid the topic. He spoke openly about the arrival of Kyler Murray and the impact inside the group. And look, this wasn't a generic answer. There was a message there. Jefferson made it clear he likes the competition. He sees value in having two quarterbacks battling for the spot. But at the same time, he said something that hits hard. The team needs one guy, not two. One. And when you combine that with the current situation, the pressure rises immediately. On one side, Kyler Murray brings experience, explosiveness, and game-changing ability. Even with recent injury history, he's still one of the most dynamic players in the league when healthy. On the other side, J.J. McCarthy is still trying to establish himself. Injuries slowed his start. Inconsistency showed up when he had opportunities. But the potential, no one questions it. And that's where Jefferson's point becomes clear. This competition might be exactly what McCarthy needs. Someone pushing him, someone forcing him out of his comfort zone. Because now it's not about potential anymore. It's real competition, and real consequences come with that. Being very direct, this isn't just a training camp battle. This is a fight for leadership of the entire team, because whoever wins this takes over the offense, takes on responsibility, takes on pressure, and Jefferson is right in the middle of it, working with McCarthy, fixing timing, routes, chemistry, trying to elevate the level of play, while also watching Murray step in with strong presence. And that creates a fascinating and risky scenario, because competition can elevate, but it can also divide. If one struggles early, pressure builds fast. If the other shines, fans shift quickly. And the coaching staff will have to manage that in real time. There won't be much room for drift here. So let me ask you, right now, who should be ahead, Kyler Murray or J.J. McCarthy? And stay with me, because what's coming next isn't about the field. It's about a decision that could reshape the entire future of this franchise. Now the conversation shifts to another level, because this isn't about players or positions. This is about who controls the direction of the franchise. And when that kind of decision starts forming, everything around it feels the impact. The name at the center here is Rob Brzazinski. Right now, he's serving as interim general manager. But what looked temporary might not be so temporary anymore. And that idea is gaining momentum right now after everything that's happened behind the scenes in recent months. This is where it gets bigger picture in a hurry. After the departure of Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah, the team chose to wait, let the draft pass, avoid rushing the decision. Meanwhile, Brzazinski kept working, taking part in decisions, connecting coaching staff with the front office, and gradually gaining more ground. And now the question is getting louder. Is there a real chance he keeps the job permanently? Let's be clear, this isn't about the traditional football guy path. Many still question that. He didn't play. He didn't come up through scouting in the usual way, and that creates doubt. But inside the organization, the view appears different. Reports suggest he has strong respect internally, that he brings different departments together, that he keeps the environment stable. And in a league where locker room dysfunction can spiral fast, that matters. Maybe more than some people want to admit. And there's another key factor, Kevin O'Connell. The relationship between them is strong. There's trust. There's communication. And when it comes time to choose a general manager, that connection can carry serious weight. So this decision won't be purely technical. It will be about leadership, chemistry, and long-term direction. And look how everything connects. Draft decisions, player situations, quarterback choices. It all runs through leadership. And if that leadership changes or stays the same, the ripple effect will be massive. So think about it. Would you bet on continuity with Rob Brzazinski or bring in a completely new voice to lead this next phase? Because from here on out, it's not just about decisions, it's about identity. At the end of the day, all of this points to one thing. The Vikings are at a defining moment. This isn't just about the draft. It's not just about the quarterback battle. It's not just about keeping or moving players. It's everything at once. There's a shift in draft direction, Kevin O'Connell managing multiple storylines, Jonathan Greenard surrounded by speculation, Justin Jefferson raising the standard inside the locker room, and the future of the franchise tied to Rob Brzazinski. And when that many things hit at the same time, the team either takes a leap forward or stalls out completely. That's the reality. That's why this stretch matters so much. Now, I want to hear from you. With everything going on, are you feeling more confident or more concerned about where the Vikings are headed? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Which story stood out to you the most? Stay tuned. SKOL Vikings. Let's go.